Woody，你好。
你好，我是台北车站队辅助WOODY。
So, firstly, of course, congrats on today's 3-2 win after what must definitely have been a very tiring last 3 days of competition for you. Tell us your thoughts. 那首先非常恭喜台北 J 战队以3-2的成绩战胜了 MCX Esports 拿下本场比赛。那WOODY选手可以跟我们分享一下打完了前天还有今天的9场比赛后，现在的心情如何呢？
蛮开心的吧？因为之前春季赛被妈挤3-0，所以这次一定要赢下来。
不累吗？
有点累。
So he said his feelings, of course, he's actually really happy because during the spring season playoffs, they lost to Manchi Esports 0-3. So he's happy that they managed to get the win today. And he is a bit tired. Not very tired, just a bit tired. So I'm glad that you brought up the fact that Machi Esports beat you guys in the summer eliminations 0-3, because when we interviewed Hana on Friday, he mentioned also that he really wanted to beat Machi Esports today to get revenge for spring. So I wanted to ask, how does it feel to finally get that revenge win? And also, if anyone on your team just really wanted to get revenge today, who the most? 那前天采访队友哈娜的时候，他也有说，今天的话是特别想对上 Magic Esports，因为毕竟春季赛、季后赛的时候被他们3-0淘汰了。那今天总算赢了这场仇战，心情如何呢？还有想问，就是队伍当中是有谁是最想报仇的呢？
蛮开心的吧？因为之前都没赢过妈吉，现在终于赢了。然后我觉得我们5个人都很想赢吧。对。
So he said, of course, he is very happy that they managed to get the revenge win today because previously they actually hadn't managed to beat Machi Esports before. And he said he doesn't really think there's anyone on the team in particular who really wanted to get revenge. He thinks that it's all 5 of them, and everyone on the team really wanted to get that revenge. So the next question I wanted to ask you is about that game number 2. There was one game where you were playing Rel, where about 20 minutes into the game, Machi Esports were pushing the first tower over in mid, and you saw them pushing in, and you used your rel to jump on them, and your team followed up. You guys managed to pick up 4 kills in that skirmish. So I wanted to ask you what your thought process was. How did you decide when to jump in on the rel? 接下来问题想问就是关于第2场，就大概20分钟，Machi Esports 那时候是推进中路线的1塔的时候，然后WOODY 选手那时是用了瑞尔，然后跳了进去，那一波台北 J 战队受到了4个人头，想问一下 WOODY 选手可以分享一下你那时候的思考吗？
因为那波越塔他们算有点硬要的吧。然后他们因为我们塔还在，所以我就想说留住他们后面的人，我们可以反打。
So he said that he thinks that Machi Esports at that time were being a bit over aggressive because the tower still had quite a bit of health at that point. So he thought that if Unreal, if he was able to like jump in and manage to hit their backline, then there was a very good opportunity for the rest of his team to follow up and start that team fight. And it definitely worked out. So, next wanted to ask you guys, how nervous was the team before that crucial game number 5? Also, how did the team manage to like reset mental before game 4 and game 5 because you won the last 2 games straight in a row? 接下来想问，就是你们团队是怎么稳下心态，把最后的关键局带走了呢？还有，如果你团队有没有在2-2第5场是特别紧张吗？
我们就第5把开始前，我们有一起加油吧，呐喊一下，然后就说一起赢下这比赛，可以去吃好吃的。
So he said that the team was just encouraging everyone, like each other together before that game number 5. He said the team like came together and they just like yelled like we got this to each other before that, and they were also just saying stuff like after this game we can all go out and like have a nice meal together if we win. So that paid off. That for sure paid off. The next question I want to ask is something that I've been really curious about just watching you play the entire season. It's to do with your ID, Woody, because in Mandarin, the pronunciation sounds similar to unbeatable or like invincible. And I wanted to ask, was this on purpose? Is this from Toy Story? Where is your ID from? 那接下来问题就很好奇关于 Woody 选手的 ID， 因为 Woody 这个发音跟无敌有点类似，然后我是想问你是什么原因才取了这个 ID 的呢？
就有一个朋友很喜欢胡迪金帐帕，然后他就推荐我这个 ID， 对，
金帐帕，
对，胡迪金帐，
金啥？
胡迪金帐，
是那个。
对对对。
So he said that he has a friend who really likes Toy Story. So it is from Toy Story. And his friend was just like recommending him to use this ID back before he created it. So that was how it came about. All right. So next, I wanted to ask you, I mean, it's not the basis of your ID, but watching you play Rel today, it did look pretty unbeatable. So I wanted to ask if you have any tips for all of us back home struggling in ranked on how we can improve our Rel gameplay. 那接下来想问的就是，请位于选手给我们一些玩瑞尔的指示。就是分享一下你的无敌瑞尔是怎么玩的？
就会战的时候盯紧他们的双 C， 他们想要输出的话，你就可以跳他们，然后他们很容易就被秒杀了。
也不是提到他的那个 WR combo 吗？
对，
跟大家说一下。
就会战的时候尽量能看他们双 C， 然后闪现 WR 很容易击飞到一堆人，这样团战就比较好赢。
So he says that for Rel, positioning is definitely very important. Usually when you're in the types of like team fights or skirmishes, you want to get into a good position. You want to make sure your eyes are always on the double carries on the enemy team and just make sure you're always in a good spot to be able to go in. He says that especially like the WR, if you have a flash WR combo that's up, it's very easy for you to CC them and then have the rest of your team follow up to just burst them instantly. All right, we'll try that. I'll try that later. I'll see if that works. But next, I wanted to ask you because with today's victory, Taipei J team is guaranteed a top 3 placing for the summer season, which is already better than the team's 4th place finish that you guys had during spring. So I gotta ask, what's the goal this time around? 那你们已经超越了春季赛第4名的成绩了，当然想问这次夏季赛团队目标会是什么呢？
目标的话一定是出国的。
So he says, of course, their goal is to be able to represent PCS as one of the teams to go to Worlds. So I have to ask, of course, then what about for next week's games? Are you guys confident going up against either BYG or PSG that you'll have to face? 那当然就要问下周对上 BYG 或 PSG 有没有自信呢？
有的吧，因为要赢过他们才能出国的。
好。So he said that, of course, he definitely does have confidence with regards to matching up against either BYG or PSG for next week because they will have to make it through either one of these teams to be able to make it to Worlds. Thank you so much, Woody, for today's interview. And of course, good luck next week. 好的，那非常感谢WOODY选手接受今天的赛后的采访，祝台北巨战队下周加油！主播陪你们喽，
谢谢。